Alright guys, today is going to be a sad day. So a couple weeks ago I should say, I hooked up to the gooseneck and put all this on there. I estimate each pallet averaging 2,000 pounds because when I take two pallets, these two, the two over there, the little ones, those two, it puts my Bobcat up on the front wheels and makes it dance. Now this guy here has got an operating weight of about, I think it was 3,800 pounds, and I've found that at 4,000 pounds she starts dancing on the front. This here is well over 4,000 pounds. So if I take and average each one of these stacks out at 2,000 pounds, we have 28,000 pounds there. I put that on top of the gooseneck. That's the first time I have ever seen the dual wheels in the gooseneck squat. Of course I did not drive this on the road. I would never do that. But on the way home I noticed a knocking, like a lean condition knock. That knock was a single cylinder and it was very disheartening to me because I know that that's a lean condition and you can melt your piston. So I wanted thing needs batteries too. Well, let's talk some shit while we figure this out. So after hearing this single cylinder knock, we started trying to look into this. So hooked up the scanner to it. There's no flow PIDs, no nothing that can help me with the injectors. I performed the scan tool self-test on the injectors and it passed, and that wasn't very helpful. So called around to a few people to get some experience because I've never had to do injectors in a 4th gen. So they told me just take out all the injectors and replace them. But given the fact that this truck has 51,000 miles on it, I am not spending 600 bucks an injector when I don't know which one's bad at this mileage. So that brings us to today. And now we need to pull all the injectors and I'm going to send them out and have them tested because I'm not doing them all. Oh yeah. For those of you that might be wondering what I just did, this is the Noto. It's the 2000 amp, the GB70. There are bigger ones, but this truck's stone dead. It's started it a bunch of times now, and I still haven't recharged it. So look at the motor. See how rough it's running? That's on startup. That's another good indicator that the injectors are going out on it. You can hear the ticking noise, and I would love to say that all I got to do is a cylinder deactivation, I'll be able to find it. Not the case. To run the cylinder deactivation for the injector, you have to meet certain criteria. Vehicle has to be up to temperature is one of them. It's cold. So if the vehicle's not up to temperature, it's not going to let you run the test. This fucking thing does it at idle when it's cold. And then the other way that I need to test it at 2,000 RPMs under heavy load is when it starts doing it again. And that's not good because at 2,000 RPMs it will not allow me to do an injector kill test. So kind of screwed. Today is going to be a fun video, tearing the injectors out of my truck and hoping that that's what it is. Because I don't like playing this exploratory game when I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Unfortunately, that's what we need to do on this. And while we're doing it, we're going to take the batteries out. We're going to bring those into work, get them warrantied out, put new batteries in this thing. Because I hate dealing with battery issues. So that's where we're at, guys. Let's check it out. So let's explain what this is, guys. It's 2016 Ram 3500, 4th gen. She's got the 6.7 Cummins diesel engine in it. I have the Ison 6-speed transmission in it, 373 diff, and Laramie. So she's fully loaded and wonderful to take on trips. I've had issues with this truck. We've done 3 sets of ball joints in it. It's got the 3rd set in it. I've done both front wheel hubs. It eats tires, front tires every 8,000 miles. So all of that stuff kind of really irks me. It's starting to chew up my brand new tires that have 4,000 miles on them. And I've used the specs that I found on the internet for setting it at 0 toe, 3 degrees caster, all that fun stuff. And still eat tires. So me coming from an alignment shop background and working on cars for a long time, this is anybody that comes into the shop with a Ram, I'm always telling them the same thing. It's gonna happen. Not here or there though. So what we're gonna do, you can see somebody moved in here and peed right there, so not too happy about that. I'm gonna have to start. What I do, guys, to keep rodents out, and obviously I didn't do it, I have a solar light that I put in front of the truck. It shines underneath it, and it's a dusk to dawn solar light. So you shine that under there and they stay out because they want dark and warm. You take away the dark, they don't want to be there. I haven't been doing that for the past year. The lights are laying around the yard somewhere. I have no idea where they are, but looks like I'm gonna have to redo it. So yeah, let's get to this. Taking this cover off, taking the CCV filter off, taking the valve cover off, and then we're going to start popping the injection lines and boost the injectors out of it. Never done this job. I looked everywhere. Nobody says anything about draining the coolant. On the Fords, you always drain the coolant because you can push the injector cups out, and you don't want to deal with that. It fills the cylinders. On this one here, I can't see anything that has anything to do with coolant, so I don't believe I need to drain the coolant. We'll find out real quick here. But yeah, let's get cruising. So what we're going to be doing is, I'm still working on the Tacoma. I got some more cutting, some more grinding and stuff to do. Now, a diesel is a very robust engine, but extremely sensitive at the same time. You start getting into her little lady bits, and she becomes sensitive. You start going out and doing man shit with her, she'll pull like a horse. She's very robust there. So what I'm saying by that is, when you have an open diesel, you get a piece of dust in a injector line, in the injector, in something that it's not supposed to be in. It plugs that thing up and then causes all sorts of issues and can melt the cylinder down if it's not getting the fuel pattern that it needs, or it's not spraying enough, or it's spraying too much. So very, very, very sensitive. So what I did is I took my old cart that you guys just watched me empty out, and that I'm going to be selling, but I can close the lid and it's sealed off. So what I'll do is I'll put everything in here, and then I'll put some rags on top of it, make sure everything stays clean. So now let's start taking it apart. All the big pieces, oh, they're going down there. Yeah. Guys, these are hose pushers. They're designed to go hose side and then tube side, and they spread. It stops you from tearing hoses out. So we're going to take the valve cover off now, and if you see the wires are moving with it, that's part of the cover gasket here. So we definitely don't want those there. Let's take these bolts out. Makes it sound like a virgin butthole. So we're gonna push that down because that is a very crucial part of the whole system here. We don't want to pull that valve cover gasket off yet. So now we're going to keep this at an angle, gently pull it up and out, and there's our friends. I'm going to put my sucker in here and I'm going to suck out all the oil on these rocker arms. Then you have to take the rocker arms out. So you just unbolt these bolts in the middle on all of them. The rocker arms come out. Then we have to get this foam out of the way and disconnect this. So I'm probably disconnecting the injectors first. You have to put the wires back exactly where they were from what I've been seeing. I was thinking a solenoid can work either way, but a lot of people are telling me that you got to put them back exactly where they were. Doesn't really make sense to me, but is what it is. Easy enough to take a picture and do. So I'm gonna get all those out of the way, and then I'll come back after I've loosened these up. Now these should have minimal torque on them. Minimal. I want to say it's like 1.5 Newton meters or something like that. I'll look it up when I'm going back together. But yeah, let's get these unbolted first, get this gasket out of the way, get this piece of foam out of the way. We'll start breaking the lines free and then taking out the standpipes, and then we'll take those out and we'll pop every friggin' injector out of this. Now, one other thing is you can actually run the truck with it valve cover off and see if any of the injectors are spraying. I don't want to do that. I'm already here. They're coming out regardless. I'm testing them. I'm not gonna find one spraying, pull it out, do this. Like, every one of them's getting tested. I know I'm not replacing them all like a professional, but truck's got 50,000 miles, guys. If you would, more power to you, but I'm not that kind. Another thing to know about these nuts, guys, is they are captured nuts, meaning the wire harness itself captured them. And you guys see me use power tools on everything. I'm not going to risk a $600 injector on a little cordless impact. But, so see how the nut comes with it? That's a captured nut. So I'm going to continue on, catch back up with you guys. Valve cover gasket's out. The piece of foam that covers over here is out. I took off the little bracket, which is this guy here that holds the dipstick, and that's out of the way. And now we're going to take off these lines one by one. This is a 19, just simply done. And then as far as the rail goes, you're going to put a socket on it. Oh wait, the socket doesn't fit. But yes, it does. This is a snap-on 19mm injector wrench. This works on the Duramaxes and the Cummins, because I don't know if you know this or not, but they use basically the same system. Ford's the only one that fires their injectors with oil pressure. So we're gonna pop these all loose. This goes on there, pop it loose, undo them. I label them. I got a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, it's not because I can't figure out where they go, it's because I can grab it, look at it fast, and know exactly where it goes. Helps with efficiency. Having a little trouble here. 6th injector, just being a tricky little bugger. So I can't get a wrench on that bolt out there, that one there. I think if this bracket wasn't there, I'd be able to get the wrench from the side and come in. So it looks like there's two 15mm bolts right there. I'm gonna undo those, move that, hopefully get something on that friggin' line to get it out of there. So let's try that. And if you notice, we have little caps on all these. So when I did Andrew's injectors, the top of the injectors came with these caps, and I always keep caps. So now nothing can get in there. Nice. So let's get that bracket out of there, see what we got, and hopefully move past this. Here it is, guys. We got the little rocker arms out of the way. We got the little bridges out of the way. And now we just got the, I'm going to call them standpipes. I know they're not called connecting pipes. We got to get the nut off, and then I got the special tool to pull those. And then I don't have a special tool for the injectors, so what we're going to do there is use some pry bars and try not to break them. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to try and figure out what I can get on these and how to do it, and report back when I do it. Okay guys, like always, I just started working and didn't tell you guys anything. So I got a socket here. What I'm going to do is I cut it. You can see how thin that is now. I'm going to use this as a semi-deep if I ever need that. Getting metal all over me. But I'm going to now cap this and then weld onto the top of that something that I can use to undo this. So I'll put a bolt and a washer or something, I don't know. But this is what we're doing. We're making tools to be able to work on things. I took a Mac Tools 24mm socket, lobbed off a bit of it. I took a spark plug socket. This was actually a pretty decent one too. It's super thin wall, but I lobbed off the top of it. So now I have a 3/8 drive, or I can put a wrench on it if need be, but we're just a little too thick. See how thick that is? So what I've come up with is a locking extension, because I can hook onto right here with the vise, and I can spin this thing while grinding it and hopefully slim it down. So let's see how well that's going to work. It's working, not wonderful. Let's try it. Guys, look how thin that is now, huh? Yeah. Ooh, it's nice and warm too. Let's cool it down. So like everything guys, there's a side project in every project, but that's very thin walled now. And I tried it out. Guess what? It fits. So the injector standpipes are now coming out. So on there, boom, we're on. Now I can get my 3/8 ratchet on there, pop that bad boy loose, or a wrench if need be, and we are styling. So let's get these little pipies out of here, get the injectors out, and move on with our life. So here's a tool that you will need. This is a this one's a snap-on. You can't get the part number, but it's an injector puller, so it screws onto the end, and then you use a pry bar to just pop these things out. This worked killer on Andrew's truck too, but it screws onto the pipe like this. You thread it on there pretty good. You want some decent threadage, and then you put a pry bar. Out comes the tubes. There it is. Tubes out. Now we gotta take that off. Come on, baby. Get off of there. And there's one of the tubes. I talked to a guy that does nothing but Cummins, and he says he never replaces these. But with my luck, if I don't replace it, it's gonna leak. We'll get the bolts out. Let's pull them all out here. Alright guys, out it comes. That is all 6 injectors out. Really wasn't a bad job. That socket, pre-planned for that if you plan on doing this. You need that socket and you need the injector tube puller. Wouldn't hurt to get some caps on the fuel rail like I did there, but overall there's nothing to this job. So I got rags in the holes, not touching the oil, because if it touches the oil it'll go up and in. I did suck everything clean the same way that I did the what did I do with it for? I sucked out the rocker arms full of oil, and I sucked out everywhere around this. Now when I'm done, I'll probably dump a little diesel oil on it, but for right now I'm over it, and I'm going to throw some rags on this, shut the hood. We got that all buttoned up, nice and covered. I'm going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing to the rocker arms, just kind of put paper towels over them. Injectors are obviously coming with me, and yeah, I'll report back, see what they find. Hopefully one of them, because I'm going to be at a little bit of a loss if they don't find one of them. It's not going to be good, but wishful thinking. I want a bad one. Nobody in their right mind's ever said that. Catch you guys in a couple days. Alright guys, if you notice, I have a new injector. Number 3 did not make the cut. Under hard load, wide open throttle, I had 73% return rate on this injector. What's disheartening is these all had between 40 and 50%. So he told me that's basically the death of the injectors, and that I basically am 50% life on these injectors. Now that being said, he said it's due to the B20 fuel, and it's also due to the fact that I don't run a spare lubricant in my injection system. Now, I used to run, in fact I still have a bottle here, this stuff here, FPPF, and he told me again, you need to start running this stuff in your truck. And there's still, what we got there, a half a bottle of this stuff left. So guess what we're running again. But if you don't know, it's a pain in the butt on these Dodges because they have the capless system on it. So that's what that looks like. There's no cap. So there's a chamber up top and then there's a second chamber down below. Now, I don't believe in that, so I bought a billet one. Funny thing is, I bought this cap before I even bought the truck. But yeah, so I have a cap on mine, but it doesn't change things. So you have to use this special little dick funnel, and it just makes a mess. So guess I just have to kind of deal with that. Here's the little funnel. It looks like one of those Go Girl things so women can pee standing up. But what's going to happen is, see how dirty that is? I've used this once, so now I'm going to be introducing contaminants into my fuel every time I use this. So I got to figure out something to put this in, a case. Maybe can hold these two things together, or maybe I'll make one. I don't know. That's another day. Back to this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in all of our injectors again. Now, I thought these needed to be coated, and they don't. There is a UR code on the top there, but 2008 to 2011 are the ones that needed to be coated. These do not. I am not replacing the standpipes. Sorry, I keep calling them that. That's a power stroke. I'm not replacing the connecting pipes. Will it bite me? I don't know. But at $50 a piece, I'm already $900 into one injector and testing these injectors. I don't feel like spending another $300 on injector pipes. Again, probably gonna bite me. Gonna regret this. Hopefully I don't. And hopefully that was the whole cause of it. I'll show you guys. As you can see, here's the printout that they did for the injectors. And on the high side of things, you can see that it's bleeding down. If you want to pause the video here and look at the rest, you're more than welcome to. But once you're done pausing it, come on back. So let's set up my stool. Let's start punching injectors in this. I'm going to look into each cylinder with the boroscope, make sure everything's okay, and then make sure there's no excessive oil or oil in the cylinders. And yeah, getting new batteries for it tomorrow. There she be. Okay guys, so this does have a way to indicate in there, but basically this hole right here obviously needs to be lined up with the tube that comes through. So if you get it in that general direction, make sure you push her in there. There she goes. So that's that, and then that little tab right there is going to line up with our holder. What I'm going to do, I know you don't really need to, but I'm going to vacuum out all these holes. So I'm going to set all the injectors in there and then vacuum the holes. So guys, this is a brake bleeder with a rubber hose and a brake cleaner straw with electric tape wrapped around it. So it's extremely sophisticated. I think these sell for like $1,000. Yeah, I whipped this up one day when I was trying to clean out some bolt holes on something else, and I do brake reservoirs and everything else with it. So we sucked out all the oil out of here, so there's no chance of locking that and cracking anything. So now it's time to set our plates in and start torquing these bad girls down. These have a little bit of a rock to them, and I was kind of nervous about whether, you know, you torque down one side too much, and I mean, you just got to have them close. So when you're putting these back together, kind of go down evenly with them and then torque, 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 torque until it looks even. They do rock, so it's not like you're going to crack one side of it or anything like that. So guys, this is saying here to preliminarily tighten the injector body bolts to 44 inch-pounds. Everything I've seen on the internet says to go to 22 inch-pounds and then seat the chingus, and then install the fuel injector connector and do a preliminary tightening of 15 newton meters, 11 foot-pounds. That's exactly what I've seen on the internet. Then you tighten the injector hold downs to 71 inch-pounds. That's higher than what I've seen. I heard 22 and then 44, but this is on here, so do a final tightening of 41 foot-pounds to the injector tube. That's what I've heard. So I'm gonna go with 22 inch-pounds as a preliminary, and then we're gonna tighten in the side chingus at the 11 foot-pounds. Then we'll retorque the injector to what they want right there, 71, and then we'll do those. So I'm gonna modify that just a little bit. because I watched a ton of videos on this just so I knew what I needed to buy and all that stuff. And like I said, these 4th gens are not supposed to break. So let's start doing some stuff. My only other problem is my inch-pound torque wrench does not go down that low. My inch-pound starts at 50. So yeah, we are gonna guess a little bit. Alright guys, so that's saying the same thing as Mitchell. So we are now going to 71 inch-pounds. Locked in at 71. We're taking these guys up to 43. I'll start with an easy one to get to so I can get a feel for it. Oh, that's pretty tight actually. There it is. Alright. That should be difficult to do on this. Okay guys, all 6 injectors are in, all 6 tubes are tight. What we're going to do now is we're going to start putting the lines back in. Shouldn't be too bad. Actually, let's put the rockers on. I think that's the next best step. So I got all the back ones in. Now we're going to tackle the front 2. Couldn't get a good enough angle on them, so I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to stuff that guy there. This one's going to go down here. Be very careful not to get this thing dirty. I do not want to deal with that. So get it lined up. This thing should spin on real easy. Boop, done. I'm going to get this guy down, snug him down. I like to wiggle the line a little bit, make sure everybody's happy. I cannot get my torque wrench on this, so these are getting good and tight. Should be more than fine. Okay, so I go good and snug on that. And then on the rail, my fancy tool does fit. $30 foot-pounds. Get this guy off. Okay. Last injection line here. All of the lines are in. All the injectors are in, all the rocker arms are in. In the instructions, in one of the videos that I watched, they said to wait 45 minutes and then retorque these rocker arms. I've never done that in any engine I've ever been in, but because I saw it, I'm going to try it. So let's debunk that. So I originally did this off camera, but these are all torqued to 27 foot-pounds. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Nothing. 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 Yeah, we're not gonna keep doing this. Perfect. Okay guys, so these are supposed to be at 11 inch-pounds. All of these little nuts. They do have their specific locations, and my understanding is it matters. Let's see what this does. Oh, no. I forgot something. Got an engine lift bracket to put in back there. Oh, no. Oh, fuck me. Okay guys, I ran out of parts. She's all back together. I am going to do another oil change to it. I just feel like there's diesel in the oil, and it sucks, but it is what it is. So we got quite a bit of cranking ahead of us. I don't know if I have the battery capability. Alright guys, so took it out. It was silent at first, under hard load. As soon as it warmed up, I got on it again and it started clattering like crazy. Now, if I go back to my Power Stroke days, I used to have to drive those things sometimes for 50 miles for them to clean out at like really hard. So I'm going to drive it to work tomorrow and see what we got. And if it's not gone when I get home, we're going to feel pretty defeated. So you'll know right now. Just like that, we're back. The snappy thing worked. That's impressive. Cool. Thing is, it fast forwarded a week of my life. So let's bring you up to date here. The injector did not fix the vehicle. It made just as much clattering noise as it was before. Still sounded single cylinder, so my brain started going towards something else is wrong with the vehicle. or I got dirt in one of the injector lines and fouled out a new injector and it's giving me the same symptom. Not the case. I called over to a guy that does nothing but Cummins here in San Diego area, and very smart dude. He tells me that it's more than likely a hurt cylinder. I called the guy that did the injectors and he said all the other injectors tested good. There's no reason for them to clatter. Could be something mechanical. You might have hurt something. So now I got myself, the diesel expert, and the injector expert all thinking that we hurt the motor. So I'm sitting at work and I started building a F350. And I'm thinking about the 450s and all that stuff. I got a commercial license, so a 450 would not be a problem for me, and even a 550. Now California makes it kind of shitty to own those, but anyways, so I'm building the truck and I finished building it and it's going to be an $85,000 truck. And I'm thinking to myself, I do not want a F350 to begin with. I do not want to buy another vehicle, and I don't want anything to do with this. I don't like, I don't know. I just don't like the Fords, guys. Like, the interior is excellent. The exterior, they're sexy. I made a living off of repairing Fords for quite a while. And, I got a Cummins. The Cummins motor itself is a bulletproof motor. The transmission that's in this truck has the Ison in it. It's a 500,000 mile motor and tranny combination. PD Diesel on YouTube, he's got 750,000 plus miles on multiple vehicles. So I'm kind of beside myself at this point. So I turned to the keyboard commando experts on Google and just went down a rabbit hole and started Googling, and can't find anything. People are saying, they got a knock, and then they're talking about how they just did some stupid stuff. I got a 200 over injector and all this fun stuff. So I stumble across one where a guy's like, I got a knock at 2,000 RPMs, and it sounds like a hard knock. And I started following the forum, and he said that he went to one shop, they told him he needed a motor. He went to another shop and they fixed it, but he didn't say how. So I'm digging through all his stuff, and I find a second forum that he was on, and he said that they found a grommet on his brake master cylinder power steering line that had moved, and it was causing it to vibrate and tap. So I'm like, no way. It's a single cylinder. Like, it's a definite fueling knock. But what else do I have to lose? So I went outside and I was searching, and the only thing that I could come up with was there's two lines that go to the Hydro Boost, and one of the lines had a little rubber grommet on it that had slid down, and it was resting up against the master cylinder. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's it. And I put the grommet in, I bend the lines a little bit and get them away from the master, and you can see a clear line of where it was rubbing. So I went back inside and I got busy with customers, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I need to know if that was it. So I go outside, jump in the truck, go up the road, get the truck a little bit warm, and then start jumping on it, and the noise is completely gone. So I've been driving it all week now, and it has not made a single peep. It's running smooth. Everything is solid. So, did I need that injector? Bottom line, at some point, yes. It was failing. It was bypassing fuel. At some point I would have run into an issue where it hurt the cylinder or created a bad misfire. Something would have happened. Did I need it right this second? Yes, it was bad. But no, it was not the cause. I could have kept running. I wouldn't have known it was damaged. But the flip side is also I would not have known how much damage was occurring to my injectors. How much damage was being done to them by running that B20 bullshit fuel and not running a lubricant in my diesel. So I think I dodged a bullet by pulling the injectors and doing it the way that I did. But if you don't need to, don't do it. Check your power steering line first. So when I get home, it's probably going to be dark. It's getting dark now, but I'll show you the line and what we did to move it and what to check first if you have a single cylinder lean misfire. Not misfire, lean knock. So yeah, so there's the lines. I don't know if I have the light, I guess you can see kinda, but there's some power steering lines up here and they come down, and there's one that rubs underneath the master cylinder right here, and then there's one that rubs on the side of the frame that's in there, right there. And the little rubber booties, this one's starting to do it again already. Those little rubber booties right there are what caused all that noise. So don't ask me how, don't ask me why. It probably has something to do with the pulse width of the pump and the gravospherical circulation of the Hujima thingy and the whatchamacallit, but it's fixed. So that's all I really care about. That's gonna do it for me, guys. I will catch you on the next one, and thanks again for watching Penguin's Garage. I hope this video will benefit somebody out there. Maybe you got the same problem and maybe it'll save you $1,000. So if it does, I expect a thumbs up, and if it doesn't, I expect a thumbs up, and if you made it to this part of the video, I expect another thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Catch ya.